Started.
Recording is on.
Okay.
Hi, thank you very
Now,
much.
hold on a second. All right, we're going to introduce ourselves. I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Yes.
Amy Rivera, board member, but I'm recusing myself from this case.
Ed Agus, board member.
John Dimes, Fire Code.
Ryan McSherry, Board Counsel.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Megan
Jay-
Flade, the Department of Licenses and Inspections.
Jace Correa, Department of License Inspections.
Okay. Are you a lawyer?
I am not.
Okay, so I'm going to have to swear you in. Could you please raise your right hand? Because you'll be witness in this test or in this hearing. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Phil, read that into the record.
Yes, sir. This is case number 1 on today's list. MI 2023-006-243 for the property located at 520 North 53rd Street. The appellant is Jessica Wilson. She's present in the room.
Okay. Meg, could you tell us a little bit about this building?
Before
Sure.
Megan gets started, you need to swear her in.
Where who in?
Megan.
Oh, I'm sorry, Megan.
I'm
Could you
sorry.
please raise your right hand? Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
So it looks like on 11/10/22, we wrote an unsafe case to the property. Looks like 12/20/22, there was permit number RP 2022-013-916 entered in draft. It was rejected for engineer's report. 5/2/23, there was a permit issued but canceled. 2023-004-559. And on 9/18/23, there is a permit ready for issue that has not been picked up yet. So
Okay.
we are looking for the permit to be picked up, and we would give them 60 days to do so. I'm sorry, 30 days to do so.
Okay, is there any pictures? Do you have any pictures of this
I
project?
am not. I am on a computer that is not of mine, and I don't.
Okay.
I can see if I can get them. Like I said, I was not. I
Okay.
apologize. I was not prepared for this today.
All right. Okay, so Jessica, you want to tell us your part of the story?
My part.
Yes.
I am not in construction. I'm coming here today for my husband because he's working he generally just working out in the county. So
Okay.
for this 520 North 53rd Street property, we actually just purchased it this year. And after we purchased it, we didn't quite know exactly the history of the house, what was the violation. So I'm not sure the whole detail of it, but I know that my husband is trying to apply for the permit. So he went through all the proper channel, and because he doesn't really very good about technology, tech savvy, so it was difficult for him to navigate through the website to obtain a permit. So I have dates that he provided for me. On May 17th of this year, he tried to apply for the Make Safe permit. And then May 23rd, application was denied. And then, and also our architect and also engineer person, which is Miss Amy, happened to be Amy Rivera, which I had no idea. And we were waiting for her to apply for the special license for the structure stability. And we've been waiting for that. And then we waited and waited to have that paperwork to go through. And then September 12th, that was the first citation that we got. And then September 13th, Ms. Rivera granted special license. And then we got another citation right after she got the granted for the special licensing. The next day, the 14th, we got a citation. And then my husband tried to reapply for the Make Safe permit. So this is why we are here today. And I don't know where to begin because I myself, my husband also had me involved to go to the LNI office to drop off all necessary form. And then there were form that was not the right form. And he and I, we've been not trying to navigate the Eclipse website and just like, we couldn't get the right, the I guess the interface was difficult to navigate and we couldn't figure out, it's kind of confusing for us. And then I had to take time off and then go down to LNI to try to figure out what, like exactly the documentation that we needed to make this, to get this permit.
Can I
So
do a second?
yes,
From what Ms. Flade said earlier, it sounds like the permit is ready. It's been approved. It's ready to be paid for and picked up.
It's waiting for a contractor to be listed on the permit.
Okay.
right. So my husband had to go through to apply for the license in the city of Philadelphia.
So your
he's
husband's trying to be a contractor?
Yes, he already took the OSHA certificate, the program or the course,
Understood.
and he passed it. He's waiting for that right now. So we are hoping that the board would give us a leniency for us since we are the first timer and we don't know like how navigate the whole the procedure.
My question is, how long do you have to wait for a license in Jason? A license to be a general contractor?
To be honest, I can't give you that. I don't work with the licensing aspect of things. I could give you time frames for the reviews for permitting, but I'm not sure whether he applied to become a contractor. Like I wouldn't know. I couldn't give you those time frames, but they should be picking up this Make Safe as soon as possible before it gets canceled. Because we're required to, if they don't pick it up within, I think 5 to 10 business days, we're required to expire it and then they have to keep applying. So Jessica, I would definitely recommend you trying to get a licensed contractor as soon as possible so we can issue out this permit ASAP.
Well, he also understands the importance of going to the proper channel and do it right. So it's just like he applied for form or paperwork. It's just waiting for another party. And then we just like in the waiting, it's like a waiting game here.
Okay.
And then it's like, I don't even know how to track because I know that LNI office everywhere, everything is like delay. So right now he already had the insurance for workers' comp. He already had that, it's insured. And then he's waiting for, I think the LNI is required for the OSHA, the certificate of it. So we still haven't get that yet.
Has he been signed up for the OSHA class yet?
Yeah, he already passed. He had like confirmation that he passed the course and everything. So like I say, you know, he had done business before out in the county, and I know he is, you know, he want to do the right thing, you know, and then want to do correctly. And it's just like a lot of obstacles throughout this process. And then we are hoping that.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how dangerous this building is?
Yeah,
Megan,
let me
did you get photos yet? Yeah.
I'm trying to download it from my I sent it to Tom. So I'm trying to I emailed it just to myself. So I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get it from him to me. So I
Okay.
I didn't want this to be
Take your time. Take your time. So you don't
I didn't
rush.
want this to be my first time, you know.
That's okay. Just take your time.
I'm prepared. So just give me. And I think we thought it was, well, I think Tom thought it was at 2 today. So. All right. All right. All right. it's not letting me open up the photos on my laptop. So let me look up the case for you. I'll let you know what we have. All right.
Oh, I got it.
You have it? Thanks, Jace.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, it says 520 North 53rd, right?
Yeah, 520.
Yeah.
53rd.
So it looks like this is the one. Looks like that's the roof. I don't know. This is what it looks like.
I got it. That's fine. Thank you.
And is the building occupied?
No, you can't, no one lives there. You can't, because
Okay.
it's not fixed. So
Right. Is there anything that keeps somebody from walking up onto the porch?
say that again, I'm sorry.
Is there any barrier or anything that would keep people from walking up onto the porch? I can't tell from the photograph
Is
whether
this a corner property?
No, it's just empty lot on the side.
Okay.
The
'cause
left, what you looking at the picture right now is on the left hand side is all empty lot.
Okay, because the violation is for the front porch being partially collapsed and the side exterior wall being deteriorated. So,
Well, that's the sidewall right there.
Yeah. So on this side is like, I don't know how many empty lots.
right, but are the steps that are on the left on the photo on the right, can anybody walk up those steps?
I think so. I'm not quite sure,
Okay, well,
but nobody goes there. I mean,
yes, but you have no control over kids walking down.
right.
So, I mean, it seems like that needs to be sealed off in some way, regardless of how much time we have here. It should have already been done. But
Is it
Yep.
any,
Go ahead.
is there any possibility to extend the permit thing? Because we are still waiting for,
See, we don't have anything definite that when your husband's gonna have his license to be able to be a general contractor. You know, it could be a week, it could be a month, it could be 2 months. And to me, this is kind of scary right there with whatever's holding up the roof of the porch. And again,
so what it looks like from what I can see from the notes that were originally put in for the first, I believe the first permit, it was that there was a Zoom meeting with the applicant and with an engineer downstairs. And the engineer stated that an engineer's report would be required to state the condition and the repair to the side exterior wall. That was on December 20th of 22. And then it looks like they came back again on September 18th under the same application, and it was sent to the back. There are no notes as to why it was not taken in on that time. So it looks like on the second permit that was taken in on about May 2nd of 23, it was canceled for, it looks probably failure to not providing the information in a timely basis, which was required. So this third time around, it's ready for issue, just waiting for a contractor. So we would give 30 days to either to have a contractor listed on the permit.
yeah, Wayne, what I would suggest is that we, allow the 30 days at the recommendation. Hopefully they have the OSHA, paperwork or whatever, everything for the contractor listed within that time. If for some reason it doesn't get done, then got to come back here and we'll have the conversation again. but I think it should be sealed off, you know, in the meantime. I mean, make those stairs inaccessible.
Would that be to seal off? Would that be for us to do it or?
Yes, you or
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not
alright.
talking about something with a permit. I mean, you need to just make it, you know,
Safe.
imagine Halloween, kids walking up those steps onto that porch, trick or treating. I mean, unfortunately, we're past that, but you know, that roof could collapse at any time. So you don't want anybody up there. That has nothing to do. I think we're agreeing with the recommendation. I mean,
Yes, we are.
in Tom with 3 days, and you know, hopefully it doesn't go beyond that. You know,
Jessica, you understand that?
Is it the 30 days?
Jessica,
do you
we're not
have
going
a
to
time frame?
we're not going to give more time than
Within
that.
30 days.
We have no control over it. We're going to give that amount of time. If you're back here in 30 days and say we still don't have a contractor, we will tell you you have to get a different contractor. We can't wait around for your husband. And if you don't do that, L&I is going to go in and they're going to tear off the porch.
Tear off that porch.
So that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
We can't.
You've got 30 days to get a permit and get a contractor, okay, and start work. If you don't have a contractor in 30 days, then you're going to have to come back here. And again, you know, we can't wait for your husband because we don't know when he's going to become a general contractor. You have to get another contractor to take care and make that porch safe. But in the meantime, what we see is that steps going up there, people can go up on that porch. You got to be able to secure that so nobody can get up on that porch to get hurt.
Yeah. If you can allow, you know, leave the steps there and just extend at the top of the steps, extend the railing, create some kind of barrier there so nobody can get beyond that point.
Your husband's a contractor, you should know how to do that. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah. I will let him
30
know.
days.
And what is it? At the meantime, would these fines be waived?
There are no fees and fines associated with this case.
Okay, all right. Okay,
fees
I will.
Okay, well, let
Your
me
recommendation,
explain it
I will
to
let
you.
my husband know.
All right, well, let me explain it to you. The fees and fines do not apply unless the property goes unrepaired. Okay, and then we place
right,
it
thank
in
you,
equity
Megan.
court. Okay,
Thank you, Megan.
you're very welcome.
Okay. All right, Jessica, good luck, and you got 30
I
days.
appreciate it. I appreciate all your time. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. You're
All
welcome.
right. Have a good afternoon.
You as well.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, Janice.
Hello.
Thank you guys so much for coming in a little sooner. Is it just you and Miss Cook?
That's correct.
Okay, very good. All right, Wayne, we're all good. That's it, just the two people.
Oh, you should count on us.
Okay.
I thought we would take you to some of our favorite places.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Is everybody here from let's see, from Frankfurt Avenue?
We are.
Okay. All right. So we'll get started and we'll swear everybody in. Okay. My name is Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ed August, board member.
John Dimes, Fire Code.
Brian McSherry, board counsel.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Philip Motto, boards administration.
Jay Scurria, Department of License and Inspections.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'm going to swear you. Is anybody a lawyer? Okay. So you got to get sworn in. Okay. Janice, we'll start with you. Could you raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I will.
Is anybody else going to be testifying?
Catherine Park Cook.
Catherine, could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I will.
Okay, anyone else?
There's a Joe Duca in the waiting room.
Joe is here. Okay, here's the project manager from North Star. He may
Okay,
be.
I'll bring him in now. Sorry, Wayne, he just joined.
No problem. I see Joe's face has been on there all day. He has.
Here he is.
All right.
Joe, take your own
You don't have
mute.
to
Take
swear
yourself
him
off of
in.
mute.
I'm sorry?
Joe's on mute.
No, he's just coming in now. He's
Okay.
connecting. Who's on mute?
Did I just say that? He's on mute?
No.
Okay. Yo, Joe, you hear me?
He's connecting.
These computer systems are too slow.
I've had trouble all day today. It's just all day. I couldn't get my laptop to work. It wasn't connecting. It was frustrating.
You only got 8 hours to do 8 hours worth of work. Don't worry about it after that. Joe, are you on?
Still connecting.
You better pay your bills in the city. You know what I mean? Start paying them, Deb. There's Joe down the bottom again.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, when he gets on, he's going to have to get sworn in.
There we
You want to
go.
start? Joe, you there? Janice, are you ready to proceed with the case here? Now he just moved.
I am.
Hey, Joe, you need to unmute yourself so you can be sworn in. There you go, Wayne.
Joe?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Joe, I'm going to swear you in. Okay, can you please raise your right hand? You swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth?
Yep.
Okay, good deal. All right, Phil, read that in the record, please.
Okay, the first thing we'll read in is case number 2. That's MI 2023-005-603. That was for the property located at 2901 Hunting Park Avenue. The appellant has asked for a continuance in that matter. Case number 3 is MI 2023-006-098. That's for the property located at 2537 Frankfurt Avenue. The appellant is Janice Woodcock, and she's present in the room today.
Okay, Janice, go ahead.
Thank you. This is an existing 2-story building, formerly used as a photography studio and office. And Frankfurt Friends would like to convert it into a daycare. It's not a daycare, it's a preschool. The age of the children would be less than 4.5 and older than 2.5. So it is a e-occupancy. As such, it's required to have sprinklers on the second floor. We are in the process of applying to have those sprinklers installed. So we're, in the attempting to get a utility site plan. That utility site plan approval is likely going to take several months. We're here before you today to request the ability to obtain a building permit now so that we can begin construction and open as soon as possible. And we are also requesting that between the time that the construction is complete and the sprinkler piping would be installed, there's probably going to be a lag time where we would need additional time to become connected to the sprinkler. But we would still want to operate the daycare because the goal of the project was to be open in January. If the project were to open later than that, it would be delayed an entire year. So we're really hopeful. In a case like this, we understand that you would need to be assured that we would be taking measures to be extra safe. And I wanted just to run down the things that we are proposing to do in exchange for this ability to open without a sprinkler system. Number one, this building, of course, will be fully code compliant when having a voice alarm with annunciator. That allows anybody that comes to the building to provide special direction to the occupants if there were a fire. Number two, we propose that when the school opens, that we will have fire drills immediately to teach the children how to exit in one direction or another, depending on where the problem might be. And we would be training the staff along with the children to do that. Number three, the operation of this building is such that there is never a time when there isn't somebody there in addition to teachers to help manage the operation. That would always be the case. And then finally, there is a staff-student ratio that we can explain to you if necessary, but it is fully in compliance with a daycare as opposed to a school. So it's a very high teacher to student ratio. And finally, we would.
What is that ratio, Janice?
Okay, it is anything lower than 31 months to 3 years, it's a 1-to-3 ratio. Anything from 4 to 5 years is a 1-to-8 ratio, and 3 years is 1-to-7 ratio.
And how old are the children?
They range from, what is the youngest, Catherine? Could you let us know?
They range from 2 years, 7 months, through some of them may turn 5 by the end of the year if they're in pre-kindergarten, but basically 4 years old.
Okay, continue. I'm just.
Oh, the last thing I want to say is we don't expect this period of operation without a sprinkler system, if we were to be granted, to last more than 3 months.
And then what's the reason why you can't put the system in?
It is that it requires a long time for the water department to approve the utility site plan. So while that is happening, we can't pull a building permit. So we can't even start construction. So that's one problem. And the second problem is that long lead time to get the sprinklers hooked up would delay the opening of the school, because we are trying to open in January. I did leave off one thing that we, of course, would do if this would be granted. We would contact the fire department and let them know and be familiar with the building, so that should something happen, they would understand the conditions.
What is the lead time that the water department's telling you they can get there to do that?
90 days.
90 days.
We've had it in, I think, probably 3 weeks now. So.
What size fee do you have coming in? 2-inch?
I'm not familiar with the utility site plan.
Okay. All right.
I'm happy to provide the board with a copy.
What else is in this building? Anything else, or is it just daycare? I'm sorry?
This would be the only use. It's all one use. It's quite a small building as well. It's about 2,500 square feet on the first and second floor.
I might add that we are also installing several other exits, as well as additional staircase.
What, straight out of the second floor to the outside?
No.
Not straight out, but right alongside the wall, straight towards another exit that's being put in.
That's right.
Is there any difference in terms of the age of the kids on the ground floor and the second floor?
Yes, the oldest children are on the second floor.
And sort of roughly, what's the youngest child that would be on the second floor? Would it be 4 and up, or is it 3-year-olds?
4, yeah, 4 and up, maybe an older 3 that is close to 4.
And you may have said this. What's the status of the fire alarm system?
It's it does have a fire alarm system, but we are upgrading it to include the annunciator feature. And as you know, that feature allows either a pre-recorded message to direct folks out of the building, or it can be used by fire personnel or by staff.
And that would be in place before?
Correct.
January. Okay.
The only problem is the sprinkler. Everything else will have to pass inspection and be up to code.
Dennis, do you have a floor plan of the second floor so we can understand the exiting? And
Yes. You have to give me a minute. In the old days, there was a set of drawings on the table.
You are so right.
we still miss that.
Yeah.
But the table was too small, so.
Yeah, right.
Now in the old days, the table was huge.
Okay, here we go.
Not coming up, Janice.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
This is the floor plan. You can see, hopefully there's not too many things in the way here. The entry, the ground floor is on the bottom of the page. You can see the entry from the street. There is an interior staircase here, and then there's a second staircase in the second classroom. This means that all of the classrooms on the ground floor have an exit to the outside. As you go up onto the second floor, again, both classrooms have an exit stair in them. The area that is covered up is actually a roof deck on the third floor, so it's not as large on the second floor as it is on the first floor.
Jace, would those stairs be required to be enclosed?
They're not, because they only connect 2 stories. In order to have those open stairs by code, we were required to take there's a basement stair, and we had to enclose that so that the middle stair was not connecting the basement, the first floor, the ground floor, and the second floor.
And is the deck going to be like play equipment, that sort of thing?
There isn't any play equipment there because there is a full play yard that's included with the project that you shown on the building plans. This deck is just for, just for lounging.
Is there any, it looks like to go down to the cellar, the stair seems to be open to that. Is there a way to kind of put a guard or something to make sure that nobody trying to get out in the event of a fire wanders down to the basement instead?
Right. In our second submission, we ended up putting a door there.
Okay.
I can put that up here. I've held up the first version. Take a second.
While you're doing that, what is the issue with the daycare? If it can't open in January, it can't open for a whole other year.
We're using the word daycare, but it's actually, it's not a daycare, which would be a year-round program. It's a school. So Frankfurt Friends School, this is our 191st year, first year. We've been here for a while. So we go by a school schedule, and we wouldn't be able to assure that people would have the right credential to be able to get into kindergarten or pre-kindergarten and public schools or anything they wanted if they weren't if we weren't able to start right away.
And this is Frankfurt Friends?
That's right.
Yeah, that's on Griscom Street, right? Orthodox in Griscom?
Yes, this is a new campus over there in Fishtown to kind of serve that area of Fishtown, Kensington. We're generally over here on Griscom, yes.
Okay.
So September is not even viable?
Well, it would be viable for next September.
Yeah.
That would prevent us from, having a program there for a long period of time, causing damage to ourselves and also not providing the education for the kids there.
Thing is it's going to take 3 months to get the tap for the water. So it's November, December, January already before you get the tap, before you can even pull your permit. Am I right?
Actually, there's 2 problems. Number one, we can't build the project until the water department approves the connection. As soon as they approve it, we would have already installed the sprinkler piping. So really the only construction we would need to do is the connection to the street. And Joe, you might be able to tell us based on your experience how long it would take to do that tap once we have the utility site plan approved.
Yeah, so I was in contact with sprinkler contractor, and they're thinking it would take an additional it depends, but it could take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks to do that external connection.
2 to 4 weeks?
Yep.
That's a bunch of, no way. No way. 2 to 4 weeks to do a tap and bring that line in? Who's
That's what
telling
they
you
were
that? You
saying.
don't know what he's talking about. Really? I mean, they do that in one day.
True, I agree.
Joe, you may not know it, but you're looking at it as someone who could do it for you in a day. Yes.
So once the water department approves the utility plan for the connection, does then a plumbing permit have to be applied for after that?
So plumbing, yeah, there are, once we get a
So
building
you
permit,
have to get that first, and then there's a whole nother permitting system that has to happen to make the tap.
that's
Yes,
true.
I'm asking. I don't know for sure.
I mean, Wayne, does the city actually, or somebody do from the street to the curb? Is that done by one contractor? Or is everything, from the street all the way inside done by one person?
I think it's two separate.
The city does the tap, okay? They tap the main in the street, and then a contractor brings that pipe in from up to the curb stop, and then from the curb stop in, the sprinkler contractor picks that up.
Right, and that's that's my assumption. So
yeah,
my experience has been it's been that from the street to the curb has been the holdup.
Yeah. And we're talking 2-inch. Look, anybody telling you that's going to take all those weeks to do it, I'd go look for another contractor.
Well, you're right. I guess, yeah. The holdup I've had has been with a larger tap. So yeah.
Yeah. Now scheduling's one thing or another, but the actual work itself is a day.
Well, they might have included that apply for a permit, wait for a permit in that time frame.
Yeah, I get maybe whoever the contractor is, but so I want to be sure this again. You can't do any of the work until you get a permit. So you need the permit for the city tap you need the city tap in order to get a permit to do any work. Am I right?
That's correct.
Okay, so you can't do any work on the inside until you get the approval from the water department that they have the tap done.
That's correct.
Okay, and then how much work is it to do inside before to get the building up to snuff?
Well, we already have a removal permit, and we've done all of that, like anything that had to be taken out of the building. So we have to construct a stair tower and make a new opening. We have to build the partitions. We have to modify all of the building systems, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. We have to install the plumbing fixtures.
And all of that you feel can be done in the 3 months that is what you're
If we were to be able to start. We've got a contractor on board. They're just waiting for the building permit.
Also a yard and the roof deck. So that would take some
That's
time.
true. Yeah.
And a fence.
Aim, Ted, you want to caucus?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
We're going to go to the breakout room. We'll be hold tight. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Janice, we got a few questions.
Okay.
You say that are you saying that only the second floor has to be sprinklered?
That's correct.
Jace, is that correct? From your understanding?
Should be throughout unless it's separated.
We're only going by what the plans examiner said.
Are you open between the first and second floor level? You're not separating, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, you should be sprinkling it throughout. Take a look.
I believe that the code provision that allows the first floor not to be, not that we're arguing for that, we'll do whatever is required. But every classroom has an exit at grade.
Oh, there is an exception for that. So it's just the second floor level.
Okay.
The exception is in buildings where every classroom has not fewer than one exterior door at the ground level. An automatic sprinkler system is not required in that area below the lowest level of exit discharge of that area. So it looks like you have a door from each of those areas on the first floor level.
So Chase, our other question for you is can this be reviewed and the permit issued for all of the work, with the exception of the tap? There's no reason that the permit and the actual construction can't proceed.
You would call it the building permit to be sprinklered.
Right.
But we've seen cases where the drawings get stamped by L&I saying sprinkler system required, and they're approved. So could it be that?
It could be that. I'm not sure what Janice was saying before, why they were having issues, because we have cases all the time where people say that they're sprinklering it and then they come in later saying they want to amend it, not sprinkler it.
Oh no, we don't want to do that. Our problem, or in my experience, you can't pull the permit unless you get all the utility plans and everything in line. It's a prerequisite.
Oh, you're talking about the utility plan. Okay.
But
usually for like new construction, right? There are utility plans, so you gotta make sure the PWD approves whatever the size of the water service line is, whatever utilities, and then they usually do that before they even submit for the permit. That's usually uploaded. You don't really see that too much in alterations, to be honest with you, but I think that's what Janice is talking about.
Maybe this is a Brian question. Do we have any authority to give a variance to get a building permit, knowing that a sprinkler permit will be coming?
I know we cannot issue a permit like saying that it's going to be done within 3 months. No CO will be issued until
no CO will be issued.
We're not asking about a CO.
Yeah.
Only permit.
But can they start that interior construction now?
I mean, I've seen previous this came in as an alterations permit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen alterations permit get issued out.
Yeah,
saying that they're going to sprinkler it.
Where we're going with this is, we're not comfortable with the second floor being occupied until the sprinkler system is in place. That being said, we would be comfortable with the ground floor being occupied and the second floor sealed off so that nobody wanders up there. And until the time when the tap is finalized and everything is operational. But in order to do all that, the construction needs to start and be able to do the work. And you obviously want to have the work done before the kids are in the building anyhow, which January is not that far away. So, but in talking about it, and Amy and Wayne, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we don't see any circumstances where there'd be a comfort level where the second floor is occupied unsprinkled.
Correct. But is getting the first floor only in January? Does that work? If it can be done, if you can get the renovations done.
I think that if we can renovate the entire building so that when we get the sprinklers in, we can immediately move. We could probably, since it's going to be in its initial stages, work with just the bottom floor.
A lot of field trips.
Yeah, it's not they're going to be the best, you know, because it'll be multi-age children, but we could probably do that. But we would have to have renovated because it's gonna there'll never be a time when there aren't children, you know, in the building, and so I don't know when we would do it.
Right.
Does that sound right to you, Janice and Joe? So if we
Yeah,
could,
we're not saying hold off on the second floor renovation.
yeah,
No,
We're just
we
saying
just
we
want
would
to
only
keep
let
it
you.
done and just don't go up. Right.
Right.
Could adults be up there if they were working up there, setting up the classrooms or anything, or no, just no kids?
I think we would want some sort of a rated door system or enclosure, maybe.
Yeah, what normally happens is the fire department, you know, they put a plywood barrier up with an access door in it to this, you know, at the bottom of each stair or the top of each stair.
It's called
Which
the
not-
affidavit
not-
of restricted use.
Right.
because the thing is, we're afraid if children are up on the second floor and there's a fire on the first floor, how do they get out? That concerns us. Now, on the first floor, they just go right out the doors and they're in a grade. That's what scares us. But myself personally, I don't care if you renovate the whole building and then just tie into the tap. It makes no difference to me.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure the kids are safe, and if it calls for a sprinkler system on the second floor, that they have that. How you get to that, that's your business.
But it sounds like
And I guess
Janice
I
has
should
probably
say that,
tried to get this building permit, but there's
It's something that's gone on since
disconnect.
the flip system. If you don't have everything, then you can't get the building permit. It's a way of, you know, and honestly, before 2020, you could get a building permit and the utilities were, it seemed like it was more independent, but now it's just more difficult.
Yeah, I don't see that with alterations permits. I'm not sure. Because that's not even a required document that approved PWD utility plan. I see it for new construction, but not for alterations. So I can try to work with you, Janice, to see what. But from what I recall, yeah,
Okay.
because I don't even see a PWD review in the processes tab for this.
Yeah, I think there's like a streets department review of the civil site plan with showing the utility connections. I'm dealing with that on a partial renovation, partly new construction.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all that was requested by L&I, not.
Sometimes the streets department forwards it to the water department. Sometimes they do not. And if you don't really know that could possibly happen, then you end up wondering why nothing is happening.
I hear you.
Telling you. And there's nobody you can see to deal with it. It's very frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
So are you guys willing to keep the children on the first floor?
Yes, but I just wondered, is there any, probably there isn't, from the actual roof deck that's out there, which is only about maybe 12 feet from the ground. Is there any kind of egress thing, a temporary thing that could be put up there that would allow us to use the second floor? Fire escape of some, you know, some temporary thing. Is there such a thing?
I think Catherine is saying this because when it became apparent that this was going to open, then there's a lot of demand. It's, you know, there's a lot of demand for this, so.
If not, we're willing to just use the bottom floor because hopefully the permit, who knows? It says 3 months, it may come in tomorrow, we don't know, right?
Right.
We're planning ahead.
We'll do our best.
And we're not having any, all our spaces are sprinklered here too. We don't have any interest in not having the best safety conditions for the students. So if there is a way to use the top, we would like to use it. If not, yes, we can do that.
Yeah, and Chase, if you are able to help Janice navigate the system, that would be.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around the first floor is not sprinklered, the second floor is sprinklered, there's a fire on the first floor, and all that smoke goes up the steps, and the kids trying to get downstairs, how do they deal with that? There's no graded enclosures that lead right to an exit.
There is an exception that allows a two-story building to have open stairways. And I checked it. I also ran a chapter 13 on this thing. We could have enclosed both stairs and not done a sprinkler system. But I think that the openness of the floor plan is very important because there's not a lot of space. So every little bit counts. You know, the feeling of openness and the.
But as you said, the exception is based on the fact that there are doors directly out from each of the ground floor classrooms.
Correct.
Yeah. But the second floor, yeah, to Amy's point, the second floor occupants are coming down into a smoke-filled room. I mean, it's before they find their way to the door.
Well, they're in a smoke-filled room on the second floor now.
Well, yeah, but at least the sprinklers have, sort of.
Yeah. No, there's no sprinklers on the first
Yeah,
floor.
well,
So
there's
no sprinklers.
At the second floor they do, but once you get onto the stair, you're. They're
open stairs, right?
Yeah, I'm saying if there's a fire on the first floor in that little kitchen, that smoke's going to go right upstairs.
Absolutely.
But Jace, you were confirming that does meet the code.
Yeah, I'm gonna double check to look at the commentary. I can't get access to the commentary right now. I'm making sure that if they're open nexus, does it require to be sprinkled throughout? That's what I'm trying to figure out. But I can check back with Janice for that.
Right, that can happen through the Eclipse comments portal.
And is it something that if it turns out that they would need to be enclosed, is that something, I mean, I hear you in terms of the room that it takes, but is it,
We'd rather sprinkler the bottom floor than enclose the stair.
Okay, but yeah, it probably
Janice, do you know how many heads they have in that second floor? How many sprinkler heads?
We haven't gotten the sprinkler design yet, but I imagine it'll be 2 rows. It's probably 2 rows.
Would it change the size of the service if you had to sprinkler both floors, do they?
We are asking the designers to size it so that we can sprinkler the whole thing anyway. In case.
You probably only need 2-inch.
Yeah, that's intuitively.
And I know they got to do their calculations. And definitely make sure that you have the feed coming in through the city into the building, that there's not a ball valve. It has to be a gate valve coming into the building. You can't have a quick opening valve coming into the building. We have on so many small places, the contractor just puts a ball valve in there, and that's not acceptable. It's against the code.
Thank you. We'll check that.
Please. Because it's like this, you can't have a valve in there that you can close faster than 5 seconds. And a ball valve, you go like that. And also a ball valve cannot be monitored to the enunciating panel. And the thing is that if there's ever a leak on the toilet or in the sink, people come down and just start closing valves and they close the sprinkler system off. That's why you're not allowed to do that. Okay, just please keep an eye on it, because there's some contractors that just throw them in. Okay.
Thank you.
Fire department, if you're available, do you have any comments?
No, I kind of concur with everything you just said. Like I say, I know there's an exception in the code, but I thought it was 1 floor when you have an exit door from each classroom. So like was stated before, and this isn't a code opinion, just a fireman's opinion, that if there's a fire in the basement or the first floor and the kids are upstairs, it's going to act as a chimney and the kids are literally going to go run towards the danger. So why the basement or the sprinkler? That's got a sprinkler. So I didn't see that on the plan. But all in all, I can. Yeah.
I see a code section where
There?
if you have open stairways, you're required to sprinkle throughout, but there's several exceptions in different sections throughout. So I'm pretty sure my plan examiner that reviewed it must have found that exception. I'm confirming with them, but based on what I'm seeing, it's required to be sprinkled throughout. But based on what Janice said, that they are using a certain exception. I'm not finding it.
What you came back from the caucus about is that I don't, like I say, to have a building occupied when it's supposed to have a sprinkler system just to allow it, I don't think is a good idea. Now, there is a system impairment. Now, if the building was occupied and there was a system impairment on the second floor, there's remedies for that in the fire code. That's a little different. They wouldn't cease the building because the sprinkler system went out of service. However, based on your reasoning, I concur with what you said. I would, if I had a vote on the board, I would vote against not having the sprinkler. I mean, not allowing occupancy to the sprinkler system was in.
Thank you.
I just have to clarify too, though, that we had two requests. One is that we be allowed to pull a permit before the utility site plan is approved and start construction.
Well, that's what Jace wants to work with.
Yeah, we have.
And I also want to clarify that the exception that I was referring to for allowing an open stair between two floors is present in the code. When we submitted that, we received comment back that we needed to have a sprinkler system on the second floor. So we didn't really do the analysis about that. We just followed instructions.
Yeah, I'm trying to see which exception, because I see it has to be sprinkled throughout.
What I'm saying is that I didn't look for an exception to only do one floor. I was responding to the plans examiner who thought that was the case.
Janice also said, Jace, that she's going to put a feed, the main coming in to sprinkle both the floors if need be, right? That you'll have the proper size to be able to sprinkle both floors. That's what she said earlier.
Right, rather than enclosing the stairs.
Rather than, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then that ruins our trying to make the first floor operable in January.
Sorry, Amy, you're kind of cracking up there.
Yeah.
I was saying that would not allow them to open the first floor in January.
Oh, sprinklers are required. Yeah.
Well, if they just leave the first floor as is and no access to the second floor level, they're permitted to have an education facility as long as the door is open.
Oh,
every
okay.
Outside.
So,
yeah.
I can work with Janice with about the utility plan.
No,
I was just checking in to see if anyone was getting showered tonight, right?
No, it's all yours.
All right. Okay.
Hold on, right.
So it sounds like we're not giving a variance, but you're going to work to try to get at least the first floor operable.
Well, I think we are. I'm hoping you do. There's two things that I want to be sure we have. Number one, we are allowed to pull a building permit without having an approved utility site plan or anything with the streets department. Because if that happens, we will not have a permit until January, and we won't be able to start construction. So
I don't think
would be a variance, isn't it?
I don't think the board can waive prerequisites from other departments, correct?
Yes.
Ryan, right? Because we had that before previously, so.
Yeah. But hopefully, Jace, you will do it and find that shouldn't slow up the building permit.
Right.
I mean, Janice, if we could give that as a variance, we would, but we can't. So.
Yeah, I was just saying that's something you're gonna have to work with Jason because he seems to think that you should be able to do that. But it's not a variance from us.
Okay. The second thing that would be a variance is you're allowing us to occupy the building when it's not fully completed. The construction's not complete for the permitted work. And the permitted work includes sprinklers. So you are giving us temporary use of the ground floor. And I think the rationale there, what I'm hearing is that if the building didn't have a second floor, it would be safe.
As long as there's a,
City outside.
Yeah.
Separate.
Classroom.
Yeah.
And when you say construction is not complete, you really just mean the sprinkler system.
Correct.
Okay.
Nothing for
Is that a
nothing, but
variance?
if I'm you guys, I would make sure when they're doing that construction up on the second floor, that they put the sprinkler system in and they test the sprinkler system at 200 pounds per square inch, and then make sure there's no leaks. Then all you have to do is tie into the feed main, but you don't want to tear things up that you already put in when they're going to, if you don't do the sprinkler system on the second floor when you're doing the renovations. That's my opinion.
Yeah, we definitely are putting the piping in, and I thank you for that suggestion. We'll test it too.
Yeah. And if they can't do it, you get another contractor. End of story.
Jace, what happened, would the building permit be issued for alterations on the first and second floor? And then when, let's say that the tap in the street hasn't happened yet, in late December, they would apply for a TCO to occupy the first floor with the separation to the upper floor?
What I would most likely do is, issue out the permit for just the first floor work.
Okay.
And then apply for the second floor when you have everything ready for the sprinklers.
Okay.
But I could talk to Janice to see what the different options are. Because I just don't want to issue out a permit for 2 stories worth of work and then them not issue a CO because the sprinkler system isn't in there.
I'm not clear as to why it wouldn't be okay to do a TCO when a building is half built and some of it is occupiable and safe.
A TCO won't be issued if all the life safety systems are in place. So if the fire suppression system is in place, they will not issue a TCO for that.
Well, that makes complete sense to me. But the flip side of that is, yes, all of the life safety systems are in for the portion of the building that's to be occupied.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're saying, Janice, that
just the first floor, you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, if the second floor is sealed off, let me get this straight. If the second floor is sealed off, or whatever, that nobody's up there, then they don't need a sprinkler system on the first floor.
Correct.
Right, because the classrooms go outside, the exits in the classroom go outside. And then they work on the second floor to get that going. And once they have that, they tie it in, then you can do the whole thing. Now, are we saying that they're not allowed to do any work on the second floor?
Trying to see if they could just do 2 separate permits, one for the first and one for the second. And then, just don't issue a CO for the second floor work. But
that makes sense.
I want to, I'm going to work with you, Janice, to see what the best option is, because I don't want to say one thing and then it not work out for you. So I want to run it by a few people, the building official, to make sure everything is okay the way that we want to propose it. I just don't want to be in a situation where I say one permit was only required to be issued, and then you get to the final stages and they're not going to issue a CO because there's no sprinkler system for the second floor level.
Right.
And everything gets held up. I don't want you to be in that situation.
Yeah. I understand.
That's what you're suggesting, Jace, though. No variance is required.
Right.
So
this would be a denial for the variance because you're not going to propose sprinkler coverage.
Right.
I mean, you're not going to waive that requirement. So
we'll write it up.
Okay, good.
Thank you for your time today.
Hey
It's
guys,
very
good
much
luck.
appreciated.
You know, we know these
Heck
things
yeah.
are needed, but we have to go with the side of safety. I won't be able to sleep myself, and I'm sure Amy and Ted won't be able, or anybody else. You know, not that we're trying to take anything out on anybody. We try to work to help everybody get into these buildings and things like that. But we have to worry about safety, especially when it's children. Well, especially anybody, but children above all. Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Good luck.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.